So hello my dear friends, welcome back. Welcome to your channel Cooking Astrology. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing my channel and liking my videos. Thanks a lot. So let's continue our journey, our series of planets through Navamsa Chart in Vedic Astrology. And in this particular video, let's try to decode Venus placement in the 11th house of your D-9 chart. And what are going to be the positive, negative results that are particularly associated with this placement. Let's try to understand in this particular video. First of all, 11th house of the D9 chart is the boosting factor, okay. Planets in the 11th house have the capacity to give you boost, energy, enthusiasm to perform something. Benefic planets tend to give spiritual desire, and malefic planets like Saturn, Mars, Rahu, Ketu, they tend to give materialistic desires. Now, first of all, as soon as the Venus energy is encountering or it's entering the 11th house, this is going to be the placement where you individuals are seeking a spiritual expression. By mean to say spiritual expression, it means you want to spiritually express yourself in front of other people. And that is the main chief objective of Venus. Because Venus in the 11th house want to set some sort of a benchmarking. Like, I have the capacity to help you to show the spiritual side at the same time rather than only the monetary side. Venus is also the planet which represents the sexual desires also. So, how you are going to be converting your sexual desire in some other positive channels, that part is also connected with this 11th house Venus. Venus in the 11th house also have the capacity to give you lot of money, lot of gains. And these gains are coming as soon as you are getting into relationship or even if you are getting married. Now, it's not necessary whether the relationship aspect is going to be very good, but it's better for you to have a bad relationship rather than having a no relationship. Because I will tell you, as soon as you are in a relationship or in a unionship with any other person, the desires are actually getting activated. And then these desires have the capacity to give you that boost inside you to perform something. Because this is also the house, 11th house, which shows how you are going to perceive yourself. Okay, what is your own picture in your own mind? That is the 11th house. 10th house is the perception of other people, like how other people are going to perceive you, whether they are going to perceive you as a hardworking person, as a family man, as a professional person. 11th house is in your own eyes, how you are going to perceive you. And that is where perception matter a lot because of this Venus in the 11th house. Second important point, as I told you, this is the combined desire of a husband and the wife. And here Venus want to explore more and more spiritual places by traveling actually. In the original Kalpursh Kundli also, Venus is gaining control over the sign of Libra and the sign of Taurus. Now, the sign of Libra represents movement, it means traveling, and the Taurus represents materialistic possessions, or you can also simply call it as wealth actually. It means both of these things are going to be playing a very important role. And the reason why the wealth part and that traveling aspect are important, because both of these things, they are helping Venus to actually express their inner self, okay, like how you are going to perceive you as an individual. So, the same perception this Venus want to create into other people's eyes. And that is where Venus, you can also link the purpose of this Venus of the D9 chart in that particular direction. Secondly, this is also the house which shows the combined responsibility of a family, entire family, not necessarily your wife, your kids or your husband only. It represents the combined family responsibility which is going to be coming upon your own shoulder. Now, I will tell you, if the planets are posited in the 11th house, 100% family responsibilities are going to be upon your shoulder, and sometime it may be from the very beginning stages of your own life. Because I will tell you, if you are born with any planet in the 11th house of the D9 chart, what this placement is going to be doing here, any malefic or maybe benefic planet, other people, they want to consider you as a more responsible person. So, this Venus actually have the capacity to gain a lot of burden of responsibilities actually. Expectations are also going to be pretty high. Because I will tell you, Venus is just one step behind the sign of Pisces. As soon as Venus is crossing the Gandanta of Aquarius, this is the 11th house and it's entering into the Pisces, it means the selfless part is coming into picture. And because of this Venus, no matter how hard you try to behave in a selfish manner or I will become more selfish person, it's not possible. Because Venus is constantly here gaining the energy of Pisces, like how I can selflessly contribute something into the society. But at the same time, because of the additional responsibility, because of this Venus which is coming upon your own shoulder, the expression part is not going to be there. And that is where loss of self identity can also be seen. This is also the placement where you can relate this placement as a Ketu. Because whenever the Ketu is coming into the materialistic houses or in the money part, Ketu will feel confused because this is the planet of spirituality and you are putting that planet into the materialism. Similarly, Venus is also the planet of love life, enjoyment, desire, and you are keeping that planet into the 11th house of the D9, which shows the additional responsibility, and that is where the burden have the capacity to suppress the positive qualities of the Venus, and then the negative traits are actually going to be coming into picture. Apart from this thing, the event of childbirth, okay, progeny basically, because Venus is a significant of progeny, children, they are also connected with Venus. In the male chart, sperm part is connected with Venus. Now, if you are having Venus in the 11th house without any affliction, it also shows the desires which are not fulfilled by you. Your children are going to be fulfilling that sort of desires. Or here, the major karma is also going to be associated with fulfilling the desires of your wife and your kids. And that is also going to be becoming the purpose here. Because Venus in the 11th house also represents some sphere karma, okay, because 11th house is naturally the Aquarius element. And I will tell you, planets that are sitting in the sign of Scorpio, in the sign of Aquarius, or forming connection with Rahu and Ketu axis, or any other debilitated energy, they shows some severe drid. Drid means the fixed karma associated with some particular individuals. And that is where these karma is going to be more associated with the children, progeny basically. So, the event of childbirth have the capacity to actually help you to cultivate your own desires inside your own kids. And then these kids are also going to be fulfilling the desires which are present inside you. Now, I am not saying it's a good thing or it's a bad thing. If you are giving your set of desire in front of, towards the other people, it's because I will tell you 5th house is the creation in Vedic astrology, and 5th house of the D9 chart and the D1 chart, they both represent creation. Even the 5th house of D9 represents some additional creation or some additional things which are present inside you, the God gifted things actually, skills also, traits also. So, Venus, if it is expressing the 5th house, it means children are also going to be creative. And your thought of expression is somehow going to be coming out in the form of your own kids. So, you can also call it as a reflection of you as an individual in front of your own life. So, kids are the mirror image, they are just a constant reflection, where you can reflect your inner thoughts, your ideologies into other people. Apart from this thing, in terms of the love life, afflicted Venus. Now, what is afflicted? If it is with Ketu or some other malefic planet, in the initial stages of the life, Venus have the capacity to create lot of emotional setbacks inside these people. Because I will tell you, Venus is a planet of attachment also. It represents how deeply you have the capacity to attach with someone. And as soon as Venus is getting in touch with malefic grahas, its intensity is becoming 10 times more. So, here the individuals also don't know up to what extent I need to attach with someone, up to what extent I need to give away love, care, affection, support towards other people. And that is where when Venus try to give these things away, and sometime because of the affliction, you are not receiving these things back into your own life, Venus will be totally confused. It's like out of the realm, like why these things are happening with me. I am a planet of love and I am not receiving love. And that is where Venus tend to develop higher understandings over the love in this particular area. That is the reason why 11th house also represents the spiritual prospect as a husband and a wife. Okay, the reason why this house is representing the spiritual side, okay, like you want to take some spiritual journeys, spiritual pilgrimages, or maybe you want to contribute in the form of charity towards the society. So, why that spiritual part is coming? Because initially Venus have suffered, and because of that sufferings, because of that better understanding of the functionings of human life, this Venus then have the capacity to actually act in such a manner, where the selfless contribution is going to be becoming the chief main objective of this Venus. Second important point, if for example, the Venus suppose in the 11th house posited maybe in the sign of Aquarius, Pisces, Libra, you need to pay attention towards the house lord which is gaining control over the 11th house. If the 11th house lord of the D9 chart is going into the quadrant places 1st, 4th, 7th, 10th, 10th, then this have the capacity to give you some additional platform or some big advantage is going to be present up there. Even in the trine houses, advantage is going to be there. But if I will tell you the 11th house lord going into other houses, then the additional advantage is not going to be there. It means you need to build or start something from very scratch and from very zero level actually. So in this way, Venus is going to be having the functioning into the 11th house. I will also tell you Venus is the soul of the D9 chart. It's the Atman. Just like Surya, Sun is the soul significant, it's the Atam Karaka Graha. Venus is the Atman, it's the soul actually. So automatically responsibilities are going to be way much upon this Venus, because here Venus is not only looking for its own house, Venus need to protect the significance of the sign of Libra, sign of Taurus and even all the other houses also. It's the Venus who is going to be determining how the other planets, whether they are receiving everything because of me or not. So you understand how the responsibilities are coming upon this person, and that is the reason why that thought of expression is not there. Very difficult for this Venus. So then the Venus is thinking, with the help of children, that thought expression is going to be coming into my life. So this is quite a fascinating placement of Venus in the 11th house, and I hope you have gained some deep insights in this video with me. Regarding any queries and consultations, you can just drop me an email. Any marriage, career, business, spiritual consultation, do let me know. I will try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Also make sure to subscribe my channel below, hit the like button if you really enjoyed this video. You can also send me contribution to my work. If you find some deep insights in this video with me, you can just send the super thanks. You can see the icon below. And I will try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Till then, please take care of yourself and Hare Krishna.